Welcome back to ChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. And it is today from Man God. Bitter feminists losing their minds because they have nothing to offer men. Please actually with that bone low. I really appreciate that. See that chow time.
Yo, tell me what this is.
Whoa.
Yo, someone just sent me this. Yo, tell me what this is about. What's that look for? You're not gonna tell me what this is about? Bro, No, we're gonna talk about this, bro.
Talk about what? Talk about what? It's a fucking party. It's a party.
No, another nigga behind you? You gonna turn around and smile
So
at that?
what?
So what? No.
So what?
No.
I actually thought that was a man at first that was on the camera until this, and then, oh shit.
I paid to go in the party and dance.
This is what happens when you go out with the girls?
It's a fucking party.
It's a party?
So what?
Nah, this ain't partying. This is something else. What is that?
It's a fucking party. That's how winners dance in the Caribbean warm. You all of a sudden you step it. That is what winners do. With this dance.
You call this dancing?
She belongs to the streets.
Sarcasm aside, the last soundbite at the end was correct. She belongs to the streets. All of them do. All delusional females who think getting airbanged at the local bar is somehow the equivalent of a firm handshake. But for these women,
It's
delusion
firm, all
is
right.
the word of the day, the month, and the year. Here is the first set of comments. She belongs to the zoo. Pack her shit. She got to go. That's 200% cheating. She has no respect for that man. Why is she getting offended? She in the wrong. Because as I just said, these chicks out here are delusional. Women like this will hop on a podcast or get
It's easier for them to get offended than it is for them to take accountability, guys.
caught in the act, and their response is something along the lines of, "You're gaslighting me," or "We were just having fun," refusing to acknowledge that both are exactly what they're trying to accuse the man of doing. But here's the rub. And no, not the rub going on in this video. These women in the Western world have completely lost their minds. Trying to make sense of it, let alone staying in bed to argue, isn't going to solve anything.
Nope.
Check this one out.
A few weeks ago, I almost drowned. There was this jumping platform thingy that everybody was jumping on. So I thought, what the hell, I might as well try it too. It looked like fun. Apparently, I hit my head on the way down. I woke up lying on my back up on the platform, and this weird 40-year-old guy pressing down on my chest. At first, I had no idea what was going on, but then the man screaming inside. I can't believe he just felt that he had the right to just grab me under the water while I was not unconscious.
Just stop helping them, men. Just stop. Just stop. This is the reason why they did not help that woman that drowned in whatever freaking story that was, that they were so upset at men for not helping her. This is the exact counterexample of that, of why men do not, I say do not, want to help women and should not help women anymore.
I wasn't able to consent. He thought it was perfectly okay to just grab my body and pull me in whatever direction that he pleased. He possessed my body, and he grabbed my waist and pulled me around down there like it was his right.
How do you
He
know
wanted
this?
to
You were unconscious.
have sex with me down there in the water.
Good lord. Nothing redeemable in this one. If you couldn't hear this woman speaking over the overused music, basically what happened is this lady was unconscious in a body of water not too far from her house. An older gentleman made the mistake of being chivalrous, grabbing her out of the water before she drowned to death, revived her, and she's trying to bring the guy to court for assault charges. The dude tried to save her life and succeeded, and now he has to lawyer up because a brain-dead feminist would rather die than surrender to logic. The comments are, exactly why men aren't protecting women anymore. Let them take themselves out. As a matter of fact, just sit back and watch them while they do it.
Yep.
This is the result of the Me Too movement, giving all these people a false sense of sexual harassment by indoctrination. Her death would have healed the world a bit. Don't save her,
that
she
was
don't
hard,
want to be
but
saved.
I don't
Bring her back
disagree.
there and throw her back in. You know, sometimes I'll read the comments and say something like, "Wow guys, coming in hot," but these are perfectly natural responses to something so heinous.
True.
If anything, she should be charged for pressing charges. This is just disgusting. Next.
The thing is, there's the Good Samaritan law. What happened to the Good Samaritan law? I thought you were supposed to be protected as long as you're doing good in the faith of doing good. Like, come on. It's so fucked.
From a men's perspective, are y'all waiting on girls to talk to you first? Like, are you waiting on a girl to ask you on a date first?
I would say that by and large, a lot of men would be pleasantly surprised if a woman actually made the first move.
That's crazy to me.
Why?
Crazy.
When this
Point is, leave women alone. They don't want you.
is the type of thing that countless men see every single day pushed on social media.
Like, when you're out in public and you're making eyes with a girl and you're like making it known that you're attracted to her, but you're not gonna say something, how are you not gonna say something?
Because they keep hearing things like this.
Stop stalking them, putting them in vulnerable situations to try to get in their pants.
Is it becoming clearer yet?
Where are the huevos? Where are the huevos these days?
Oh, the huevos still exist. They're just playing it safe and avoiding individuals with this type of mentality.
We just don't want to put our huevos in a vice.
Each one of you are gonna go to hell.
And what man in his right mind wouldn't want to approach that?
My man to be assertive and dominant. If you want to say something to me, say something to me.
I think a lot of men are honestly just confused because that type of behavior has been called toxic masculinity.
I'll give you the opportunity. I'll put my phone down. I'll drop the handkerchief. But I'm not gonna do it first.
Of course not. Because after all, that
These
would
are
just
useless.
be too easy.
Toxic masculinity is the kind of terminology that puts heroes behind bars and the crazies out on the streets. The last clip and this one make a nice pairing because this chick is wondering where all the assertive men have gone. But the answer is pretty damn clear when so many of these women are so lost, they're willing to press charges for a bump in the hallway, let alone saving their lives. Sweetheart, no man is going to come up to you because it's a losing game. Instead, they're going to focus on things that won't ruin their lives. Here are some of the comments. Single equals peace. Women, leave women alone. Men, leaving women alone and now living peaceful. Women, why won't men ask us out? Is it because you're afraid and weak? Men, continues to live in peace. Enjoy your cats and your bears. Wise men say, when one girl yell for approaching and others yell because you're not approaching, both girls are unapproachable. Well, damn, I don't exactly have to say she pretty much nailed it. She really did, actually. I didn't think I'd be saying that on a video for a while. Moving on.
Thing is, don't talk over me. And now you're getting mad because I'm setting boundaries.
I want to let you know.
You're mad that I'm setting boundaries. Okay, and you're mad I'm setting boundaries. A real alpha, and I'm gonna just keep it a $150. A real alpha doesn't give a fuck who else. There could be mad alphas in the room. I'm an alpha. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
This is how you know she doesn't know shit, right? If there's an alpha in the room, there's a hierarchy. There's always a hierarchy. And men can place themselves in the hierarchy very, very quickly once we get into a room. So we scan the room. We see the men around us. That guy's probably going to be stronger than me. That guy's probably a little bit more competent than me. That guy has way more charm and looks better than me. We are very aware of this. So we place ourselves very perfectly almost into our little niches, unless when it's two major alphas and they just can't get along. But even when two major alphas come, one will step down because they know it's going to be a problem.
It doesn't affect me because I'm a leader.
We're not in a relationship. You're comparing regular people as individual alphas in a relationship.
You're literally taking it literally instead of reading in between the lines. If you're an alpha and you are comfortable within yourself in being confident, why does it matter if you're also with an alpha?
Because those...
Or someone who's also strong-minded, contains leader qualities. I'm not done. Contains leader qualities. Is there something funny?
Yeah.
What's funny? I want to hear it. What's funny? I just feel like you haven't had a guest like this before, and you're just astonished.
No, you're just not disrespectful.
I'm not worried, concerned about you, young
I
lady.
never said you were.
You
Is
made
that
me
what I
laugh.
said?
Are you mad?
No, is that what I said though? You just put words in my mouth.
I just made a little smirk, and then you mad.
I just asked you.
Listen, and talking. Alpha woman. What are you, Wonder Woman?
Don't
Alpha
put words in my
woman?
mouth.
Beyonce and Jay-Z outside
I'm
the
not
United States.
done. You just didn't you say before the cameras came on we
But
don't talk
no.
over each other? I'm not done though. So please wait.
Name me a Beyonce
I have
and
a
Jay-Z
question
outside
for
of the
you
United States.
when it
That's
comes
what I wanna
to
know.
I'm not done. Like please, like I was just saying before I forget my question.
You toxic as
There are
fuck.
men. No, it's just y'all have
Dear God, the terminology can really make your brain rot. Even without the nonsense, if a woman uses the term alpha without any of the other stuff, every guy should be running for the river like someone stuffed a Molotov cocktail in your jockstrap. With the arguments, this chick still isn't making any sense. She does what every woman does when they start to lose an argument. They say they are very uncomfortable or that she's setting boundaries. She's absolutely exhausting. Here are the top comments. Misconception. Being loud, overbearing, and aggressive doesn't make you an alpha though.
Nope.
Pro tip. If you have to tell people you're an alpha, you're not. I know she's single. She don't know how unserious the men in the room take her. Seriously, the lady is acting like she's Caesar after crossing the Rubicon.
Right?
But all she is a nutcase with a fuzzy top hat, saying that she isn't insecure while yelling at everybody after she finishes a statement. Women like this think they're masters of communication when all they've really done is prove to everyone in the room that they lack discipline and basic communication skills. Anyway, let's get another one going.
Gen Z boss in a mini. Gen Z boss in a mini.
What?
EVTs in a ball. EVTs in a ball. Fake 10 hands in a hoop.
Do you guys actually do any work in here, or what's going on?
5 for 3 in an attitude. New Frank Green and a sneaky link.
I know you guys are the HR team, but we actually got to send this report in pretty soon.
Secret product of the trench. Cinched waist in a blowy. Cinched waist.
When you guys are finished with the TikTok, I actually use a bit of help over here. It's what you're paid to do, so...
We needed a laugh.
Man.
I can't say that this did it for you, but it did it for me. This is such a manic video that I can only imagine that this has to be one of the 7 circles of hell in one way or another. Gen Z chicks are basically one of the final stages of feminist objective. None of the work gets done, even though they dress like they're the boss. Men often end up cleaning the mess, and they almost always take credit for it. Only for their daily activities to consist of turning on the camera to wave it around while they shout like a cult ready to drink the Kool-Aid. The comments are, HR is the most useless department ever. Defund the HR department.
Agreed.
I'll never complain about working with 20 plus autistic blokes in an engineering firm ever again. I saw the original video and was very upset comments were turned off. They avoided the world yet fill it with cringe. So these are the people asking for 5 years of experience for entry-level jobs? Yes,
Pretty
yes
much.
they are. Additionally, in reference to the second to last comment here, that's what all these women do. They act completely psychotic, and when they're shocked the real world doesn't like it, they use social media functions to shield themselves from criticism. It's truly where rivaled creativity goes to die. Next.
Name, age, and where you from?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I'm Shelly. A lady never tells her age, but I will say I'm 39, but I don't look your typical 39, so I'm proud of that.
Yeah, you look 59, girl.
Shelly.
Yes.
You look 39. It's okay, though.
Short, but sweet. Guys, you gotta love it. I mean, how can we talk about delusion without mentioning the leaders in this particular sphere? The women who hit the wall and think they're still of high value. Also, I'm having a hard time believing that this woman is 39. My guess is that she's about 45.
Yeah,
and
I'm
just
going
couldn't
like
accept the
40,
fact that
50.
she's past the point of no return. I honestly love it when they hop on podcasts like this and there aren't any pulled punches. Somebody needs to shed light on the reality of the situation. The top comments here are, Shelly looks like a man.
That was actually I was going to pause immediately when I saw her face. I was like, this looks like a man.
It looks like she's been 39 for a few years now. Shelly's pronouns, he/him. I was going to say 42. She looked 45. Boom. At least someone agrees with me here. Also, she definitely does look pretty dude-like, and her personality is definitely making me want to look for the old Adam's apple. If someone here spots it better than me, feel free to put it in the comments here on Man Guide, or make a joke of some kind. We all deserve a laugh every
I
now and
agree with
then.
you, dude.
Moving on.
Not a feminist. I can actually cook.
I'm a feminist. Watch me cook.
Come over and join their team in the ST racing.
Okay, if anyone doesn't find this to be the funniest thing you've seen today, there's the door. A lot of times, I share things like female mechanics busting up cars, basketball players playing in a game that might as well be a 1-hour blooper reel, and the occasional chick that can't crack an egg. Today,
there's a reason why NASCAR, and there's only been one woman ever really been in NASCAR and Formula One and stuff. The reaction time, the strain that it's on your body, your neck. Oh my God. I watched the whole thing about it. Most normal people cannot, I repeat, cannot accept the G's from going 300 miles an hour in these cars. Their bodies would crumble. That's how much work it requires to drive these vehicles. I did not know this personally. I thought it was just people driving cars in circles. But I also love Talladega Nights too, so.
I give you female race car drivers, possibly the most expensive of them all. NASCAR drivers that are women almost always destroy their rides. Why? Because just like in real day-to-day life, they try to take the wheel and end up wrecking everything to satisfy their unquenchable ego. The comments are, watch me get cooked. Only thing you cooked is the car. She cooked the car. Yep, she cooked herself. Isn't she famous in racing because of her dad or something? Nobody knows, and frankly, I doubt anybody cares. The point is, she's served up a hot, steaming bowl of feminism with a side of massive regret. It's a common theme for women who have so much delusion that they can't see straight and end up driving right into the divider. That's one way to hit the wall.
I mean, depth perception is a big deal, especially in these types of, fields, right? And women just have way worse depth perception than men do. Almost every single woman I've ever dated just have horrible depth perception. They literally think something is so far away, and then boom, we hit it.
Moving on.
Does height matter?
Yeah.
But a guy can't change his height, right?
You're right, a guy can't change his height. But me, though...
If you're judging guys based off of height, then we gotta judge based off of weight. So...
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
What? Right here.
My man.
For what?
So confident before, huh?
Faux fum. I smell the blood of men who have zero interest in me. The body positivity end of feminism always makes me cackle. If I find myself in a Target, which almost never happens, I can't help but laugh aloud whenever I see a mannequin that looks like an Uncanny Valley balloon made for the Macy's Day Thanksgiving parade. And yet, chicks like this persist. They go out to the club, not realizing that their friends are using them as a contrast tool, and continue to create earthquakes in the city because people keep telling them that every Big Mac makes them more and more beautiful than the last. The comments are, that is $2.50, easy. At least $2.20. So heavier people are not entitled to their own opinions. If you have to shame a woman's weight to prove a point, you got some work to do in yourself. That's a heavyweight. Always the walking fridge. Ain't that the truth? The turd in the punch bowl here claims that everyone's entitled to their own opinion. What she doesn't seem to realize is that statement directly contradicts with the game played in these videos. Chicks hate it when the script is flipped. Another one.
A man being rich is like a girl being pretty, except you can see if I'm pretty. I can't see what's in your wallet.
Oh my god, this gives me AOC level rage. I can't pinpoint if it's the raspy high voice, the smile, or the kiss blown into the camera. It has to be all of the above. Give me 304s for 100, Alex. Anyway, this guy was perfectly reasonable for not paying for the Uber. Not only did he save himself time, but that date would have been an absolute disaster. I can already hear the dinner conversation in my head, and it's driving me nuts. Here are the top comments. Wealth can go up over time. Your face is only going down. I'm honestly so embarrassed for women who think a man they barely know is their free ride, literally and figuratively. Girl, what? If it's your ride, you pay for it. That's not how it works. The F type of drugs are you on? I grew up with this shit handed to me. Amphetamines? The only person allowed to ask me what's in your wallet is the Capital One pirates. Being pretty only goes so far. That's where women go wrong these days. They think just being pretty is as good enough. Just like rental.
It is so much harder to have a huge bank account than to be pretty, in my opinion. Being pretty, yes, you can pay for it. Most people are born into that gorgeousness. I have to work my ass off to get to 6 figures, and even then, I only make slightly more than 6 figures.
Cars after a wash thinking they can pull sticker value. Fair points all around, gents. Cheers. Next one.
Meanwhile, you're single and alone at a museum taking videos of strange couples who look pretty happy and minding their own businesses. I don't know, but that sounds pretty mid to me. Cheers.
Cheers, brother. And an excellent point. When men go elsewhere to find a traditional woman, feminists always come out of the woodwork to say it's impossible. They call them a slave that will wake up to understand that all men, or pigs, or something to that effect. It's what happens when you let your brain absorb the empty platitudes that keep you forever single. So the comments are, she seems salty. Can't believe there's women actually trying to justify her mid-behavior. Women try to be happy for other women challenge impossible. Honest question, but why are lesbians so upset heterosexual people exist? Gay men don't seem that salty over it. Is it a psychological thing or just a trend? I mean, she's not the easiest on the eyes either. She's ugly. It's fine. You can say it. Men, don't waste your time with this. Embrace yourself, your wealth, and your freedom. As always, I wish you tremendous success.
Woman that got saved from the pool, fuck you. You're the type of woman that when a man sacrifices his life, that you don't feel any remorse for, that he tried to save your life and lost his own. You're a fucking whore. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. See you next time. Ciao.